Hello, West Grand Intermediate School. We are back for another WSIS weekly wrap-up. I hope everyone had a wonderful and relaxing holiday break. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, our teacher Rucker Rock Star this week is Mrs. Jackie Donlin. Mrs. Donlin is our Phi House 8th grade reading teacher. And our student rock star is David Ditting. Okay, we are here with my teacher rock star, Mrs. Donlin, and my student rock star, David Ditting. We will start with you, Mrs. Donlin. How long have you been teaching at West Intermediate?
This is my 20th year at West Scranton Intermediate, and I cannot believe it. It does not even seem possible that I'm there for 20 years. So when I first came to West, I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade remedial reading, and my classroom was down next to the medical room. And then a few years into my teaching, someone retired, and I moved up to 8th grade, and I've been in Phi House ever since.
You're right when you said it. It feels like home here because
it really does.
I taught for 13 years at Scranton High School, and then when I moved over here to be the assistant principal the last 2 years, it felt like I taught my entire educational career at West Intermediate.
Yeah, it's just that welcoming atmosphere that we have that, I don't know, once you get there, you're there.
So tell me something, what is your favorite lesson that you have taught virtually so far?
My absolute favorite lesson from the first quarter was when I had the students do a one-pager, which was an artistic interpretation of what we were reading. So they had certain criteria to include in there, like figurative language, different elements of fiction and so forth, but they had to do everything graphically. So there was a lot of drawing, there was a lot of color. So it really showed the creative side of the students rather than just simply answering multiple choice questions or writing, short answer responses. It really showed that, amongst our students, we have such hidden talents. It was really, really great to see. They did a fantastic job.
And it's really nice to see how you take the material and bring it to life and let them express themselves in a different way, because they could show you that they retain the material by making a beautiful drawing.
Yeah, really. And I don't think I would have, for some of the work that I got, I don't think I would have had the same impression if I was just reading a response. I mean, the color, just the way they designed their work, it was absolutely beautiful. They did a beautiful job. I couldn't have been more pleased.
And you do a lot with Mrs. McDonald with, she teaches the English with the Phi House. So you incorporate both reading and English?
Yes. In fact, this week and last week, we're doing a reading writing workshop together where we're working on a text-dependent analysis question. So the students come in, we can pull up their work, we give them pointers, we give them suggestions. So it's been really great for the students who are participating with that. But in October, we did a collaboration where we reviewed the elements of fiction, we read a short story together, and we held different contests. And one of the contests, two of the contests were they had to write an alternate ending to the story, and they had to create a cover for the short story. And then we picked winners, we had winners picked, and we delivered lunch. So it was a lot of fun. Again, getting to see the creative side of our students and the hidden talents that, our kids have. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
But that's really great that you did that for our students, because it's hard to get with them on the personal basis when they're not in front of you. Like when you're learning virtually, you like to get to them, to know them better. And go and deliver them lunch, and that's an incentive for them to do better. And then you're working with Mrs. McDonald and what reading is helping in English and vice versa. And now we know why everyone loves your class.
Thank you. Well, I enjoy it. I really do. And Miss McDonald, she's great to work with. So I think we work really well together.
You're a great team, both of you. What are some tips for your other West Intermediate students that?
The number one tip that I could give our students is just to commit to making progress every day. Like, forget the idea of being perfect every single day, because given the circumstances, that's not possible. It's not possible for us as adults. It's not possible for them, as students. But if they get the mindset that each and every day they're going to get up and they're going to make progress towards accomplishing what needs to be done, they're going to get to be successful without a doubt. So that means you get up, you get onto classroom, you read the stream, you go watch the instructional videos, you go onto the classwork tab, you do your assignments, come to the meets. Teachers love to interact with students. I love when students come. We look forward to that. There's nothing to be nervous about. It's a great way to get your work done. So, just participating, even a little bit each day, is going to help you develop habits where, becoming successful is real easy.
And that's really great advice, because I just feel like sometimes the students, they'll if they miss one or two assignments, they'll just quit. Mm-hmm. And they shouldn't quit, because they
shouldn't.
They should make progress every day. The teachers are there to help them and take one day at a time.
Right. And here's the other thing that I would want students to know. A lot of teachers, we have kids of our own, and we know the difficulties, and so this is new to us too. So there's nothing that could scare us, nothing that would make us think, oh, that's ridiculous. We know the difficulties of the circumstances that we're in. So we are willing to work, with them all the time to make sure that they're successful. But they have to commit to making progress every day. That's the key.
Well, that's great advice. And thank you for all you do for West Intermediate. We are very, very lucky to have you.
I'm lucky to be there.
And now tell me why we picked David as our student rock star.
Well, I think David is the perfect example of having that mindset of making progress every day and committing to, making sure that he's finding success. I'm sure he'll tell you that not every day goes perfectly as planned, but he's there at the meets, he's getting his work done. We can see that he's trying his best. He's doing, what he needs to do each and every day, and he's very successful because of that.
And David, I spoke to Mrs. Donlin, all your other teachers. They said you're really knocking it out of the park with virtual learning. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and I'm just very proud of you. So tell me something that you think you are doing to help you be successful with virtual learning.
Things I think I'm doing is completing all my assignments on time and just basically doing all the stuff that my teachers ask me to do.
Yeah, and that's important. Not only completing your assignments on time, but if you just do it simple, if you just do what they ask, it's not overwhelming if you're doing everything one day at a time, like you said, and you're really doing a great job with that. What's something you find challenging?
Doing all the assignments on virtual learning.
Well, it's challenging for all of us, not for you. But you seem to have an edge on it. You seem to have things figured out because you're doing really, really well with it. What are some tips for your other students, your classmates?
Well, some tips are just complete the work that your teachers assign, and come to the Google Meets if you have questions. And if you have
Now, you had mentioned earlier that you try to get your assignments done on time. So what do you do if you have, in the morning, on Blue Day, we have periods 1, 2, 3. If you don't have a class second period, do you work on other assignments?
Yes.
And I think that that's important. I think that some students are just thinking, I'll get to it later, and I'll get to it later. And then they don't do it. So you're on a schedule. You have first period, second period, third period in the morning. We have lunch, and then we have related arts, and then office hours where you work on. And you said that was very important that you go to the Google Meets and you ask your questions. Because like Mrs. Donlin said, the teachers, they understand how difficult this is, and they're there to help you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both for being rock stars. You're doing a great job. And keep up the great work, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we are back for another Minute to Win It challenge between our teacher rock star, Mrs. Donlin, and our student rock star, David Dinning. Here are the rules.
Nosedive. In this challenge, the contestant must transfer 5 cotton balls, one at a time, from one bowl to another, using only their nose. To do this, the contestant uses petroleum jelly on the tip of their nose as a transfer agent. Too much makes the release into the bowl difficult. Too little may cause the cotton ball to drop prematurely. Failure to complete this task in 60 seconds may result in elimination.
Okay, are there any questions?
No.
When you hear the horn, you can begin.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
50 seconds. 38.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, David has like 4 already.
Oh,
Oh, you just missed one. This is...
I got 5.
He won. David, great job. That means, you know what that means? 5 for students and 1 for teachers.
David, you were really excellent at that. That's hard.
How did it look easy?
He must have practiced.
He actually flipped one over and then flipped it back in.
Oh, I got 3. Well, 4. That one didn't make it in the dish.
Well, thank you both for participating, but you know you're both rock stars in my book.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Rucker. Great job, David. Congratulations.
And keep up the great work, okay?
All right, take care.
Congratulations again to our teacher rock star, Mrs. Donlin, and our student rock star, David Dinning. Remember, the second quarter ends on January 29th, so make sure you're getting all your work submitted, logging into all your classes, and participating. And remember, West is best.